And you're Canadian.
I am Canadian.
Dual citizenship.
I have dual citizenship.
You're one of each.
Yes.
Okay.
Today, it has come to my attention that maybe a few Americans don't know as much as perhaps they should about Canada.
So is this going to
We're having a little crash course on Canada.
Okay.
Number one.
Number one.
This is Canada. Next, language.
Language.
Canadians speak English, except for the Quebecois who speak French.
Okay.
So everything in Canada, street signs, websites, everything, is going to be in French and English. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the fact that Canada uses the metric system. Just like
metric system!
Every other country in the world, except for
system.
the United States. Look up curling, everybody. You're going to be interested in curling.
I love curling. That's the thing with the brooms.
Yes, it's pretty popular.
No introduction needed. Morgan Webb.
Me.
What is your Geek Library pick?
This is one of my favorite movies. I would have to say second only to, of course, Real Genius with Val Kilmer.
Which is not yet available on DVD. A travesty.
July 16th.
July 16th.
Not that I keep track of such things. This is an anime film. It's called Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, it's very good. I can't, actually, because I have an old adventure game for you to play.
I played most. I haven't played this.
This is very fun. If it's a new adventure game, would it be free? No, of course not. People got to get paid. So this is called Dink Smallwood.
Dink Smallwood.
Dink Smallwood. And you're this sort of happy-go-lucky guy, not very tough or adventurous anyway, but the forests are filled with evil monsters, ruled over by the evil Seth. And you have to defeat the evil Seth. And it's just one of those games where you have to get the crystal to get into the cave, to talk to the person, to, you know, run through the woods.
Like The Legend of Zelda, these things that drive you.
Morgan right here with her Windows tip to make using remote desktop a touch easier.
Because it can be a little bit complicated. And
painful even.
Yeah, and if, say, you need to let your mom or a family member get access to your computer for files or something like that.
I just want mom
or
to
just to mess
any
around in the
computer.
registry.
Right.
Well, no, you know what I mean. But you can actually save the settings into a link right on your desktop. So you just click the link once, and it will connect you automatically to whatever computer, as long as, of course, you have set up access.
So I create a link to someone else's computer. Right. I can save that file and store it almost like an HTML document on the desktop.
It's just it's an .rdp file, remote desktop something. I don't really know exactly. But so you just click once on the icon and you connect directly to that computer. You're sitting there in front of millions of people and Windows just crashes. You know, the idea of a different operating system was a little bit appealing. It's a little bit hard to figure out, but with the help of my friends at the Screensavers, install it, try it out. But once I got it working right, it just hums like a dream. I have a real operating system on my computer. I'm fighting the man. I'm fighting Microsoft. It's like, so I have my cute little Linux installation. It's all about the penguin. You know, I went to UC Berkeley, which means I am all about good deals in education. Berkeley, I have to say, is one of the best deals in education out there.
Great school.
Great school.
State school.
Yes, an excellent price.
Yep.
Which is why, for my site of the night, I wanted to bring something educational. Because usually there's, you know, monkeys dancing around the site or something like that.
Let's do something smart.
Let's do something educational.
I agree with you.
Okay, well, I learned how to do JavaScript from the Netscape JavaScript guide.
That was hard, wasn't it?
It was. I actually printed it out at my old job. I wasn't doing much. It was about this thing.
Not the best way to learn, I don't think.
I should have used it as a reference, but I found something a little bit better. Macromedia actually has an excellent one, and they walk you through a series of exercises. And this is a great way to learn JavaScript, and it's completely free, of course. I'll email her back and let her know.
And who's that dog over your right-hand shoulder there? Stay where you are, still to come on this very show. I'm in as much trouble as Martin is now. Oh, no. No, it wasn't you. There was a dog. Is your registry full of garbage? Megan will help you clean up. I didn't mean you, dear. I really didn't. And what is ISO? We're going to tell you and show you what to do.
Hello, angels.
Hello, Leo.
Angels, it's come to my attention that Martin Sargent, our beloved Twisted Lister, has completely run out of ideas.
And?
No, it's different this time, Megan. The list he plans to read on tonight's show is despicable, inconceivable, worse than the time we let Perillo and Larson host the show.
True.
If that list is allowed to go on the air, the Screensavers will be ruined. Angels, you must find Martin and stop him. Our jobs depend on you.
No problem, Leo. I know where he sits.
Hi, Angel. Angels.
Hey, Angels.
Oh, forget it.
Hey, Angels. What's going on?
Enough small talk, Martin. Hand over the twisted list.
How many fans would you say are in love with you?
Oh.
Like a percentage.
They just say they are. Does it count if they're under 14?
Yes, fine.
Okay. I don't know. I have a lot of younger fans.
So is this creepy? Is this scary to you?
No, it's cool because I'm not threatened by it or anything. You know, it's fine. It's just like one of the parts of the job. It's like a fun thing. You know, you get your email. Sometimes you get sent boatloads of Sharpies. Or no, Sharpies, Smarties. That's what they called. Candy.
Yes, candy. Candy is a good thing. We all like candy. So, what did you do before you came to Tech TV, to this glorious place? What did you do for a living?
Before I did like web stuff, like I was in charge of a website for .com, and so we just like, you know, I did lots of like a little bit of JavaScript kind of thing, like just kind of like maintenance, but nothing complicated at all, and like just sort of doing all, you know, contracting out stuff.
And before that, so you're young, but I mean you went to college. What did you study in college?
Studied rhetoric.
Rhetoric. What? I have no idea. What's rhetoric?
Rhetoric is like the study of language and semantics and words to express meaning in argument. So we studied a lot of philosophy and looked at the arguments that people would make and, you know, how they chose what words to make them and how they use like certain different types of arguments to make them.
But I think it should be just yet.
Gosh, that music's funky. It's very funky. All right, you are not limited to a single cut and paste because your clipboard now accepts multiple items. So you can cut 3 items, 10 items, 24 items. Okay, 24 is the limit. You can do 24. All right, let me show you how it's done. I can shut down my computer without using my hands. I have highly developed mental abilities. Thinking hard.
Yeah!
Just wait. I'm going to do it in front of a live audience, in front of you.
You're going to bend spoons.
The first thing that I have to do is I'm going to go into my power options in my control panel. So let's do that together, shall we? And I'm in my power options. This is the control panel, and I click on my advanced tab. And under power buttons, when I press the power button on my computer, I want it to shut down. Now, it's usually set to this by default, but just check and make sure that it's like this. And also, some motherboards are not going to support this feature, so if you don't have this little choice, I'm very, very sorry. Okay, so we're done. Now I'm going to shut down the computer without touching it. First, I have to back up, and I'm going to use my toe. Dink! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll do anime show. Anime.
Anime. Yes. Who's ready to talk some anime? I am. Oh, we got one guy up in the back.
I am.
All right. Okay. Leo, I'm talking now.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Right now,
I'm sorry.
Oregon is on a mission to install some geek culture into your lives with their latest geek library pick, Fooly Cooly, or FLCL.
Yes, the last geek library I did was War Games, and this is, of course, a movie that everyone has seen before.
Right.
So this time I wanted to pick something that no one's ever heard of and no one's ever seen.
Cool.
But it has a lot of merit in itself. It's called Fooly Cooly, or FLCL. Now, these are nonsense words. This doesn't mean anything. The person who made this decided that he liked the way it sounded.
I like the way it sounds.
Yeah, Fooly Cooly, and it's Japanese animation, and what I think is the coolest part about it is, you know how in The Simpsons, everything is sort of random and crazy and strange and sort of not the non sequiturs? That's a lot of cool things about this video. There's like, all of a sudden it'll change into comic strip, and then all of a sudden it'll change into the characters watching themselves on the screen commenting. And then there's adventure, and my favorite character who we're going to see in this clip coming up, she is a pink-haired, yellow-eyed alien rock star. And she hits people with her electric guitar.
Welcome back. Now with our new dueling 12-inch and 17-inch PowerBooks, Apple has us all pondering the question, is less more or is more more? Morgan and I think more is more.
More is definitely more.
More is always more.
Yes.
More.
Yes.
We are not the good things that come in small packages,
No.
girls. No.
And you can get a lot more from your monitor than, you know, your 17-inch CRT that we all have from price, $50 or whatever they cost.
Exactly.
You can spend a lot
You can.
on a monitor.
You can.
A
We
lot.
found that.
All right, so the first one we have, now this is a ViewSonic monitor. This is actually uses 802.11. You plug this little bad boy, your little wireless station, into the back of the computer, and then you purchase this monitor. This is $1,000. And then you purchase the base station. That is an extra $200. No, you would think it would come with the monitor, but it doesn't. So let me show you what it does. No, so it just connects wirelessly to your computer. So it's going to work just like, you know, any computer. It is touchscreen. You can write. You can move the mouse. There's some buttons on the side, that kind of thing. And you just navigate around. So the theory is that you can sit on, you know, put this on your lap, hang out. You're touching around on your screen. You can also connect a keyboard. There's USB on the top, which is cool. And you can, of course, have wireless keyboard and mouse.
Please welcome X-Play's Morgan Webb. How you doing, Morgan? Wonderful to have you on the program. So I got to know, what does it feel like to host a television show that people actually watch?
Well, since I have such a distinguished career that I didn't even know about exactly, I figured maybe I can bring some people onto here.
Yeah,
Thank you
well,
so
we
much.
can, because you guys are on
I'll do
right
my best.
before us. I mean, thankfully, people watch your show, and some of them, you know, the remote control breaks or something like that.
It's too
We get
far
those.
away.
We get the drugs basically from your show.
Yes.
So it is a
We do our
video
best.
game show, and
Yes.
you're here to talk about video games, specifically sort of controversial video games. There's been controversy surrounding video games ever since I was a little kid. I remember people were like, oh, they're going to rot your brain and all that, spend all your money on it. But some people said they increase hand-eye coordination. Where, if you trace back the history?
There's always excuses, you know, everywhere. But of course, one of the first most controversial video games is called Custer's Revenge. And it was on the Atari 2600, and you play Custer wearing nothing but a hat and boots. Bill O'Reilly, welcome to Tech TV. You're known as a hard-nosed interviewer on the Fox News Network. If you could ask Bill Gates anything on the record, what would it be?
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Let's see. I would probably grill him about his competitive plans. You know, I mean, I don't know what he does as far as monopoly is concerned, or how much pressure he puts on his distributors, or how he attacks the opposition. But I would find out before I interviewed Gates. I would get all the charges the government lodged against him during the Clinton administration. I'd ferret them out. And I'd probably ask him a few questions about his money, too, about, you know, what he does with it, that kind of thing.
Now, you obviously have an opinion about the technology of the war. Do you think technology has really given America an advantage?
Oh, no question that USA has got a tremendous military advantage with the high-tech stuff that they have, particularly in the communications field. Because you see the soldiers now wearing the little mics and everything like that, and they can call anywhere they want if they get in trouble. They don't have to use flares anymore, and it's a really sophisticated area. And then a weaponry, the high-tech weaponry is just, and people don't know how destructive these things are. And that's why Afghanistan went so quick. As soon as they moved in with all these high-tech weapons, the Taliban went, you know, it was no question. Because, you know, people like in the third world have never seen or even conceived of these kinds of weapons. So it gives us a tremendous advantage.
Alrighty, anytime.
Hello and welcome to my cube. I am looking forward to Jade Empire, which is one of those Knights of the Old Republic games where your choices in the beginning affect the outcome of the game. It's very cool. I like that. I'm also looking forward to a couple of sequels, like Beautiful Joe 2, Way of the Samurai 2 could be cool. I like that. And, of course, there's Resident Evil 4, which I'm not exactly looking forward to because scary things scare me. And I like to play happy games where happy things go around, like Double Dash. That's fun. Scared.
Well, some say she's fun, quirky, dare we say sexy. And now Tech TV's Morgan Webb has landed on top of Yahoo's Buzz Index movers.
A few days ago, a Morgan Webb fan hacked Madonna's website. On the site, he asked Morgan to marry him. And that may be why, in just one day, searches for the name Morgan Webb jumped more than 2,000% on Yahoo. spiking at a rate higher than the Dixie Chicks' Natalie Maines, and No Doubt's Gwen Stefani.
I guess people are wondering, like, who is this Morgan Webb person?
We'll save you the search time and give you some information on Morgan you won't find anywhere else. She got her start in television doing commercials. Her brother Evan Webb knew she'd be a success.
I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years old, she started doing some commercials, and she always took really, really well to the camera.
Morgan graduated from the University of California at Berkeley with a major in rhetoric. She was always developing her computer skills and got a job at a .com. It failed, but a friend she met there pointed her to Tech TV.
I told her there's a position available here in the library from midnight to 6 a.m. We both kind of looked at each other and said,
Instead, Morgan hit the screensavers as an associate producer. Not on camera at first, but that didn't take long.
We had the magic combination of someone who had what the screensavers needed in terms of knowledge about Windows and other web stuff, tech stuff.
Great thing about Morgan is she's beautiful and she's smart. I think that could be a problem. People look at her and say, and you're a Windows expert? Come on.
Now her love for video games is paying off.
I'm like a pro wrestler.
She'll be co-hosting Tech TV's new X-Play with Adam Sessler. So the question we're all dying to know, will she marry the guy that proposed to her on the Madonna website?
Sure. Send me the ring.
Terrible, terrible thing happened. There used to be a woman on the screensavers named Morgan Webb, who was the star of the show, and then, yes, she gets her own show and she leaves. But there is an advantage to having my own show. I can bring her back.
Yay!
Yay! From X-Play, ladies and gentlemen, Morgan Webb. It's so, oh gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh, we're so glad to have you. Forget that Adam, what's his name?
I don't know his name.
From now on, you come to the show, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to talk now. If you're a game player, you've probably collected a lot of games, and one of the problems is when you get to a new game system, you kind of have to leave the game behind. For instance, I know you love your Game Boy. Now this is the latest one, the SP. I won't drop it. But if you've got a Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy SP. Now there's a way you can play these games on your GameCube.
And this is even more important because the SP has a backlight. The old Game Boy Advances weren't backlit.
You couldn't really.
You had to buy these lighting contraptions, and you were staring at them.
It was for 8-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
With really good eyes. Even you noticed that, huh?
You can't see them unless you're like in full bright sunlight, angling it just right.
So what is this, then?
Okay, this is the Game Boy Player. It's just sort of this little plastic thing. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything. But you go ahead and you flip over your GameCube.
So I'll have to have a GameCube to use this.
You have to have a GameCube, and these little covers come off for other accessories.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
This is one of them, and
Should we install it?
Let's just stick it on.
Oh, well, that was easy.
And I like how the screws are actually attached in the Game Boy.
You can't lose them.
You cannot lose the screws. I love that.
This is idiot-proof. How much does this cost?
This is $50 if you buy it separately, but for a limited time, if you buy a new GameCube, you can choose to get this Game Boy Player instead of a new game.
There, that's a guy with the Holdy camera. We have Word Scrolly, and we have Morgan Webb. Right here, Morgan Webb playing games, hanging out. Why? Why are you here?
They didn't tell you they hired me for the new show?
No, why'd they do that?
There was a meeting.
God, it's good to be up here on Extended Play.
Adam?
Yeah, I know, it's X-Play. Well, we've got the new name, we've got the new set, we have Morgan Webb. And that means it's still the place to get dope on Games and Gamers.
Every night, we're going to bring it on with previews, cheats, the stories behind the games, and of course, the backbone of the show, reviews. Morgan van Webb. When playing the RPG, a patient will first notice a tingle here, in the back of the neck. But soon, the terror begins. The common symptoms can be recognized early. Common household tasks can transform into struggles between life and the death. Hi, I'm Morgan Webb from Web Alert, my daily tech and gaming news video blog. I visited blackbird.wikia.com to see what people were talking about. Digger-NJLP posted about how it's part of the hardcore gaming personality type to build your own computer. Now, I did that myself for years. I found the process interesting, and it was what I could afford. Also, off-the-shelf computers are tough to mod and upgrade. But now that I'm busy with a TV show and a daily video blog, the thought of spending hours of my scant spare time dealing with with the same computer issues I've seen a million times doesn't appeal.
Morgan Webb, who is one of the hosts of X-Play. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the business?
I actually started on a network called Tech TV, and we did a show called Screensavers, which is about technology, and so I started on that show doing computer help and showing people how to put their computers together and doing Windows tips and that kind of thing. So when there was a spot on X-Play, I jumped at it.
Okay, awesome. Do you like the technical side better, or do you like being on camera and presenting, you know, news and all that stuff?
Well, you know, you're always going to have a bit of the technical side in your work because as a gamer, you're going to be putting your computer together and taking it apart, trying to figure out why it's not working, and then trying to get new RAM, that kind of thing. So as a gamer at this point, you're always involved in the technical side, and sometimes that's so frustrating because you just want to play your game and you're busy spending 4 hours trying to fix your computer. So
people always told me, be careful what you do, and don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love, be careful what you do, 'cause the lie becomes the truth. Hey, hey, Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kitty's not my son. She said I am the one, but the kid is not my son.
Okay, I'm sitting here with Morgan Webb, and I'm putting the screws on her saying, you've got to join the Twit Network. Are you going to join the Twit Network?
I'll do whatever Leo says.
We're doing a little shoot for November issue of FHM. It's the Games and Technology issue, so that's where I come in.
For the November issue of FHM, we're shooting Morgan Webb, who is a gaming junkie. She loves video games. She reviews video games on her show, and you know, we just thought that she'd be a great addition to the issue. I just think that this is a phenomenal shoot for us. You know, Morgan loves video games. Our reader loves video games. You know, FHM gets letters all the time from readers wanting to know, hear more about video games, and they just love video games. They love sexy women. Morgan is absolutely beautiful, and I think that when you put a beautiful woman in a bikini in front of video game monitors, it's sure to be a good seller.
The Cold War is pretty much over for us in America, but really it's still a big reality for South Korea. I mean, right behind me, right there, is North Korea. And they have about 9 million active and reserve troops. They have at least 2,500 tons of biochemical weapons. You know, they have artillery, they have 1 or 2 nuclear missiles, and they're really close, and they don't have a sense of humor. On June 25th, 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea with the goal of creating a unified communist country. However, the West did not sit by quietly. General MacArthur led a large military force that pushed the North Koreans back to the 38th parallel, creating a demilitarized zone separating the North and the South. Although the armed conflict might be over, the threat of violence continues to hang over their heads. You can see up behind me there's a guard tower, and that's where the North Koreans are actually sitting there right now watching all of this going on. They got their binoculars and everything. They're peeking out, making sure we don't do anything bad. Seoul is an incredibly late night city, like, stay up all night and drink kind of late night city, and there are so many places to go to blow off some steam, so we're gonna check in and maybe we'll have a little drink. Maybe just one drink. One, I swear. Welcome to Seoul, South Korea, an ancient city with a modern twist, where the nightlife doesn't stop till the sun comes up. Okay, this is Club I. Now, this is something you are not gonna find in America. Booking clubs are places guys can chill with friends in their own private rooms, while waiters bring food, drinks, and girls. The gaming scene in South Korea is blowing up right now. From PC cafes to professional competitions, there's nowhere on earth quite like it. Okay, I'm totally set. I have my octopus chips, and I have my little card. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna see if I can play a little bit of Unreal here. This is gonna take me a few minutes.
So we're so excited. With us today is the beautiful and talented co-host of X-Play, Morgan Webb.
Thank you, you're so kind.
Yeah, Morgan, honestly, we're really so excited to have you with us here today. Absolutely.
That's been so nice.
Well, we have a great show lined up today. Besides taking your phone calls, we're going to give you a sneak peek at the upcoming first-person shooter, Area 51.
That's right, and Morgan, we're going to kick off this year's 2004 Madden Challenge with our first in a series of road reports.
Yeah, so if you're ready, Morgan, G4TV.com.
Okay, I'm not ready.
Our next guest is the co-host of Tech TV's video game show, X-Play. Now, she's accustomed to video game competitions, but now she's in a virtual competition of a different kind. She's battling 4 of her colleagues for the title of the sexiest babe on Tech TV on Playboy.com. Joining us now is Morgan Webb. Good morning.
Good morning.
One of the sexy babes of Tech TV. First of all, tell me what X-Play is about.
Well, it's a video game show, and we do a lot of reviews of video games. We also focus a lot on gaming culture, and we just like to have a lot of fun with it, because, video games are fun.
Now, how did you get into this? Have you always been a video game gal growing up? Did you always play games?
Well, my mother, bless her heart, bought us an Atari 2600. I think she bought it for herself, actually, because she played it just as much as we did, but that kind of started my brother and I on this path to video games. And since then, video games have definitely progressed. I remember there's a game called Leisure Suit Larry, and it's not really for young children.
I remember Leisure Suit Larry.
Yes, and to actually get to play the game, you had to answer certain questions that you wouldn't know unless you were a certain age. And I remember my mother giving us the answers to those questions so we could play this.
Oh, so she encouraged you a little bit.
She did encourage us to play these games.
Okay, we're in the Sony booth. This is pretty exciting. They have a lot of great games. Well, we'll see. We're going to reserve judgment. Adam is behind me. He has been playing Sly Cooper, the PBS Raccoonist. He loved the game. He was so excited about it, so I'm sure he's going to tell you about that. I'm pretty excited about Ratchet & Clank. I always loved that game, and it looks even better this year. And, of course, the Transformers game. I know I'm a dork, but I can't help it. I just like anything Transformers, really.
Do good things really come in threes, or is it celebrity deaths? Well, Sony's betting on the former because ever since their big pre-E3 press conference, the convention has been buzzing about the PlayStation 3. Being the skeptic that I am, I had to check it out for myself. Here at E3 2005, Sony is featuring a return to many popular franchises. Focus! They may be sequels, but these games are bringing something new to the table.
I have one more bit of sex advice for you. If it's pink in the middle, stick it back in for a while. Whoa! That might be a recipe for chicken. Kevin? Kevin?
Hi, space aliens. I am Morgan Webb, and the first thing you might see about our society is that we have these immense monuments, and you might just see the bombast of our society and our self-absorption, but I do want to tell you about humanity's kind and quiet moments where we'll sit down for hours to compose a symphony or to just sit and experience art and not even need to share it with anybody, have that pure form of expression.
My name is Morgan Webb, and I host a TV show on G4 TV, and it's called X-Play, and we cover the world of video games. We do reviews, we do developer interviews, previews, news, all that kind of stuff. I'm aware that people on the internet call me a gaming goddess. I've been called that in magazines. I think people like it because it's alliteration, and people do love alliteration. In real life, I am definitely a gamer. I play most of the games that come out in a given year. And I say most because I'm at the point in my career where if a game's really, really I don't have to play it. I make the young ones play those games as punishment. Or maybe it builds character, I'm not sure.
Well, we're definitely going to see some new hardware. We're expecting a new console from Nintendo. Now, it's unclear if this is going to replace the Wii or if it's going to be sold alongside the Wii. It's unclear if this is going to be for the hardcore gamer. We don't know how much storage it's going to have. The speculation abounds currently. But we're definitely going to see something new from Nintendo, and we are excited to check that out. That's going to be one of the biggest things coming out of the show.
So what do you think about the film?
I have not seen the film. I haven't. This is the premiere. This is the night where everybody sees the film.
You're in it, though.
I am in it. I could be terrible. I don't know.
No, you're great. You're great.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then you know more than I do. I'm a little scared to watch myself for the first time on the giant screen, but what can you do? I trust Morgan Spurlock. He's not out to make anybody look bad. Exactly. That's why we're connected by space and time. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about geek culture becoming mainstream like it is with this film and with everything like between tech and comics?
You know, the small, insignificant, spiteful part of me is like, we have been here all along screaming that this is popular and people like this. This is not just for kids. And, you know, for so long people have been like, that's for kids. And it's been our problem. It's been our fight. Now all of a sudden, it's their problem if they don't understand video games and comic books and geek culture. Now it's so mainstream that you seem out of touch if you don't know about it. So it's an interesting transition. The spiteful part of me is like, I was here first, and then the not spiteful, more reasonable part of me is like, you know what, it's great that everybody who actually really does enjoy this is feeling really able to express themselves and say like, I like comic books, and not be embarrassed about it and be happy about it and be proud that they, you know, really enjoy that kind of literature.
Are you going to be at Comic-Con this year?
Absolutely, I'm going to be at Comic-Con this year, whether I wanted to or not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Imagine it's the body of your fallen lover, Ain Wynn.
Whoa! We could beat this Morlock invasion yet.
It just be like, slow down, I gotta get my bow in. I gotta get my arrow in, just slow down.
Hang on, guys, just wait a second.
Hang on, guys, you're gonna get killed really good, but just...
I'm also gonna try to stop my heartbeat for a second so that my shot's more stable.
Whoa! I have to say, no matter what, you look majestic.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of WoW Source. Now this is the BlizzCon wrap-up episode, and of course there is an expansion to talk about, so we got a lot of stuff. With me I have Ian Hazakostas. He is the lead encounter designer. He is going to answer a lot of questions about rating and that kind of thing, so we're excited to have him. Then we have Chris Robinson. He is the senior art director, or the senior art director. We're not entirely sure yet. We'll find out more about that momentarily. And then we have Tom Chilton. He is the game director, so he has lots and lots of answers for us as well.
Morgan Webb, what are you doing here in this set in the middle of the forest?
You told me to be here.
I did actually.
You even provided me my requirement, which is processed meat products.
This is your writer? Exactly. No, yeah, Morgan Webb. It's like meat. It's like Morgan Webb, some meat.
I walked in, I was like, mediocre effort, but they did comply with the letter of the law.
Exactly right.
So here I am.
Is it a situation, is it like on Uber, like, is there like a 5-star rating that you can give?
So far you're at 3.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna offer.
Okay.
I'm gonna offer deeply, profoundly mediocre magic skills.
Awesome.
So
it's time for Morgan Webb. Oh my God!
My old roommate.
Your roommate?
Yeah, we used to be roommates.
You used to live. Oh, and she brought her dog.
Look at that.
What's it?
Yeah, I'm at my house.
What's his name?
Ashby.
Ashby. Her name.
Ashby doesn't have her own Instagram filter, but you know.
I think we should make one
Still
for
good.
Ashby. Yeah. Yeah.
Super cute.
Morgan, it's so great to see you. Morgan Webb was a researcher on the old show many moons ago, and then we started having you do tips, right?
Yeah. I used to work with. I can see my head's cut off. I worked with Kat Schwartz on a project before Tech TV, and the company ended. It was a startup, and she called me up and she's like, there's a job open, you have to apply for it. I already put in a good word, and so I applied for the job and I got it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
for
so neat.
researcher.
That's so cool. You didn't work
Yeah,
with her at the Swiffer Corporation, did you?
No, it was like a tech startup that sort of did a lot of different things for a lot of different audiences depending on the day.
Yeah.
So something that was really special to me over the years were the number of women that I really got to speak to. It was a different time. It was not always a safe space for women, and honestly, like, not always a safe space for me, but I really tried my best and didn't always succeed, but like tried to be a role model. I mean, the world's changed for women in games. It still has like a long way to go for sure, but just seeing some of the progress and the fact that we can even have conversations about things like gatekeeping and the quizzes. And like, you know, the number one question I used to get was, you don't really play video games, do you? And then the second question was, you look taller on TV.
Actually, you kind of did look taller. Morgan and I are exactly the same height, but they put her in heels. And so she always looked taller than me. You know, at one point, they would actually put you on a box to maintain the illusion that I was shorter than you.
Sometimes like my feet would hurt and then I would need to stand on the box. Like, I see where the question came from.
Adam's getting redder and redder as you
Adam, I can see it clearly never affected you.
But Morgan, I will say that's always been your heart. Like, you've always championed women in gaming, and you really live it out. Like, you're passionate about it, you speak to it so well, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you.